Hey, Bikeaholics, Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products, Zero/Gold Strike, are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out their full line, our full line of Zero 3D products. Oh, yeah. Once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Get hooked up now. Use the bejesus out of my Rick Rack system on this 8-day, 7-state, 3,000-mile motorcycle trip, which we're going to talk about. And absolutely love that thing. And we have them in our store ready to go right now. Shall we do this, boys?
You don't really take that much stuff, so I don't know why you need it.
Which is, if you heard in part 1 of 2, why my bike fell over off the lift, because I had so much weight on the back. It never does that.
You need a dump truck trailer.
I do. I need a trailer, but I just can't do it.
No.
I can't do it because it's just another thing to deal with. And yeah, no, I don't. I've learned. All right. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%ers,
large
baby,
and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history by listening to this very podcast, by being here live. Whether you like it or not, and I know you like it, or you wouldn't be here, you are part of what we call
the biker revolution, bitches.
Tag, baby. That's right. Oscar, we do have just one question we want to ask everybody. Before we get started, what are you waiting for, bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
Yeehaw.
You're too slow.
That's something in my eye. That hurt a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Of course, Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
There you go. Part 2 of our long summer motorcycle trip. Again, make sure you listen to part 1 of 2 because there's some stuff in there that we mentioned that we're now going to clean up and get to in part 2 of 2. We ended at day 3. We're going to pick back up here on day 4, which was our patron member only meetup and ride and dinner event in Salt Lake City, Utah. We've got a lot to talk about that. And then there's some other exciting stuff and debacles that happen and a couple breakdowns and a whole bunch of stuff in between. We're going to give you some tips, tricks, and some of the cool rides that we did and what roads we recommend. And so we got a lot to tie up here in part 2 of 2. That was just part 1 of 2 was just to wet your whistle. There you go. New free video we always like to mention. Cranking them out on the YouTube channel. This is all about, do I have the same? We already talked about this video. Is this part 2 too? I did.
The hell's my intro music?
Oh, good.
Oh, you need it again.
All right, here. Popeye.
I'm good with mine.
Popeye's in the house.
Where the hell's my intro music? Damn it.
Bullshit.
Which you would expect for part 2 and 2.
The downhill slide's begun.
That's right. There you go. Of course, Oscar, he loves me to play
Trash. Oh, I love trash.
There you go. Oscar, love him. All right, so we already mentioned that new free video. I guess I just copied. Didn't we do that? Oh, no, we did. No, I did gear I was testing. This is never mind. I digress. We're doing 2 back-to-back here. Harley travel toolkits and items that I carry in my touring motorcycle. I did this right before we went on the trip. It will be at lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode number this is. And I go over the toolkits. Of course, it's all stuff we carry in our store. There's a reason that we brought it to our store. We tested a bunch of toolkits. We're testing, we have medical kits in there now because that was a huge request. We like to not medical kits. We're looking at some medical kits. A tire repair kit we're now carrying in the Law Abiding Biker store. That was as a result of coming up on the trip, and a bunch of guys said, well, we like the tools you carry, but what about a emergency tire repair kit? So we're testing those. We brought one to our store. We will eventually do a video on it. Nobody got a flat tire on the trip, but I wanted to puncture Goat's tire during the night just so we would have to use it and I could film it, but I just couldn't get the balls up to stab his tire and put a nail in it. But anyways, I didn't want to do it to Oscar either. So, all right. So that will be in the show notes, but it is, and we used it on this trip. You're going to hear here, we did have a couple instances where we need to use it. You heard in episode 1, my bike fell off the lift, busted my mirror. We used it in Boise in the parking garage to replace my mirror, and then we're going to use it here coming up. But again, I posted it. We are live with our patron members only. This is episode 2 of 2, and live chat. Make sure you get hooked up with that. If you're listening in a later podcast format, it's months after this actually aired that you get it at podcast format. And again, you get to live chat with us. We get to interact with you, get to know you better. So we love our sponsors, of course, for the episodes, 03D, Rick Rack for this particular episodes, but we never fail to mention the other people that sponsor our episodes. They're the following patrons.
Craig Merrill of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
The Wright brothers.
Clayton Dobbs of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Don Rober.
Hill Hampton of Payson, Arizona. Aaron Young, we don't know where you're from. Edward Quinlan of Waynesville, Missouri, a top-tier member.
Yeah, top tier. David Delane of Vancouver, Washington, right across the mountains from us, top tier. Jeff Sowell of Westville, New Jersey. Trip Wooten of Fort McCoy, Florida. That's right, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content. No risk to you because you can put a monthly cap on it. That's right, there's benefits such as stickers. You can get t-shirts. You can get in the private Facebook group. Of course, you can, what we're going to talk about right now, get access and actually meet up with us, ride with us if you're in the area, up to access to our premium videos up on request. So there you go. Get hooked up. We'd love to get to know you better. All right. So let's dive right in. We are on part 2 of 2, and let me grab these. We still got the same notes up. Right there.
There we are.
There we are.
There we went.
Patron Meetup Day. Wednesday, June 19th, 2019. And this took about 6 months. Always, we started planning in December. And I just want to give a big shout out right now. We're going to talk and yell this name, a couple names. We are going to thank Carl Quist. He's down there. Did I put it in here? Let me see where I put it. All right. I got to get up there. All right.
Okay,
there we go. Patron Ride Meetup. So I just want to thank Carl Quist, of course. He was my organizer. I had been in touch with him for about 5 months, and he stepped up to the plate. We just can't do this. If you're listening, you know, and you're a patron member and you're thinking you want to be involved, we just can't do it. And it was sketchy. Carl finally signed up. I didn't think we were going to have anybody, and I've never had to organize an event afar without somebody else involved, because it's hard. Like, Carl knows the ride there, where we should ride. He can go around and meet the local establishments. It's a lot of work. Of course, we paid for, Law Abiding Biker paid for everything this year, as far as the meal we had and all that. But Carl gave his time and made this event happen. And we finally found a catering company that could do it and of course, price has a lot to do with it. We went back and forth with numbers. I had to send Carl money to or call the catering place to get stuff. So it's a lot. And just thank you, Carl, publicly.
Yeah.
Amazing job you did. I wouldn't have changed one thing that you did.
Not at all.
And I don't just say that, you know.
Yeah, it really was. That was a good day.
It was a good event. He found a cool park that we could rent and secure. We rented that park. He took us on a great ride. We're going to talk about all that we did to give you an idea what an event like this is like and some of the fun times. I also want to publicly thank everybody that was involved, of course. But Tim Tilson and his wife made the shirts for this event, and they did this on their own dime. They didn't, Law Abiding Biker didn't pay for those t-shirts, guys. And I kind of mentioned that at the event. Tim Tilson, his wife, completely 100% did these shirts, made the logos. You'll see them in the documentary film. You may have seen them posted in the private Facebook group, the patron only, but they did these t-shirts. They even had shirts, special Leo print we weren't expecting in the sleeve, a law enforcement officer.
Cool.
It was.
That was very cool.
That was a
And then for like David Schwartz, they put the Israeli flag on the shoulder and stuff.
That was so cool.
The little touches that they did were pretty awesome.
Yep, those were all surprises. We knew about the t-shirts, but we didn't know about that. And before we get up. So, and I just want to thank everybody that was actually involved with the event, because, you know, whether you were directly involved with organizing or whatnot, still you were an integral part of making the event, making the event a success, I should say. So Yeah, very good. Let's move on.
That's right. Mark Arnold got the Canadian flag.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, good call. Was that in the private
Yeah,
chat?
it was.
Who said
They did
that?
awesome.
Throw out some names.
That would be Jason Richardson threw that out there.
Yep. Thank you very much that's what's awesome about the live chat and all that kind of stuff. So let me go here to patron attendance. Let me go down here. Yep. All right.
Tim's still in the private chat.
Is he? Tim,
I wonder if Andrea listens to the private chat too. Or
I don't know if that's his wife.
Just Tim, yeah.
Yeah, that's his wife who helped with the shirts, Andrea. Great couple, good. Everybody there, just good, solid people. So let's talk about the patron day 4, June 19th meetup. Do you guys want to pick it up or do you want me to go with it?
We met up at in the morning. They're at the Harley Davidson dealership in Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm. Kicked some more tires on some bikes there. But we met up with about 35 or so Patreons somewhere around in that block. And it was fun. We got to sit there and bullshit with some familiar faces and some new faces as well. Some of them we've seen the last few years on Patreon meetups. Some guys like Mark Arnold, The Machine. He's been wanting a nickname. It is The Machine.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you're going to do, dude?
Yeah.
Is that official?
It has to be.
The Machine.
He is a machine.
Yeah. He's The Machine.
He's ridden more miles than Harley Davidson.
Yeah. Now...
and on his new motor.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't followed him in the private Facebook group.
I got to look up something here too. I'll get back to you later on it. But
so
he come down and then you got guys coming from all over the damn place.
Russ Roberts
pretty
came from
amazing.
Tennessee. That was pretty cool. And then the Tilsons from Washington. I mean, people from all over. That was what was the best part, is getting to put faces to everyone from all over the place. So now, like we were just chatting here, when we go over there to maybe Eagle Leather, I'll give Tim and the West Side guys a shout out and they can meet us for lunch or something.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. I talked to like Andy Larson. So we're in Montana. Andy's like, just stop by when you're in Montana. I'm like, yeah, great. That'll be great.
You're right.
So The Machine, a little bit more about
Mark Arnold.
It's different. It doesn't really have anything to do with how the Northern Machine, right? That's pretty good. But look up Bert Kreischer's The Machine, where he starts talking. It's a stand-up skit where he talks about being in Russia. It's funnier than hell. But Bert Kreischer, he's a comedian. If you go look up like a comedian who does a skit without his shirt on or something, it'll come up. But The Machine, funnier than shit. But anyway, yeah, Mark Arnold is The Machine. That dude frickin' rides a lot.
He does.
Gets around.
A lot of experience there. Very helpful in the private Facebook group. Wealth of knowledge, because he just put a whole new motor in his bike. So that's pretty cool. So
awesome project.
Meet time was 9:30 a.m. The meet and greet kickstands up at 10 a.m. is what we were shooting for. Harley Davidson of Salt Lake City is where we met. We don't always meet at a Salt dealership. Depends on the event, but it was a good spot to meet up. So the day ride was going to consist, we meet and greet. I got to shake hands. Of course, Popeye's getting more serious at this point about kicking tires on a bike.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
Oscar, did you look at anything down there? Did you kick some tires?
I didn't. We were looking at the street glides, and I saw some new paint jobs, but the Ultras, they're kind of all the same. Like I saw one, saw, so we were looking at all it seems like every time we went somewhere, we saw a different street glide paint job.
Yeah. And this one, it was pretty cool. They had, 4, 5, or 6. And, I saw 2 that I really liked. There was a dark blue one that wasn't, it wasn't a matte, but it was a real kind of a flat blue that I thought was pretty badass. Cowboy liked that one a lot too. And then, I went and sat down with the sales guy for a minute, and he kind of gave me a quote on what he would probably give me for my bike. But like I said, we had, 35, 40 people in that dealership, something like that. And I just don't think he thought I was real serious at that point about, getting a bike. I think he thought I was more just kind of kicking tires and looking at it.
Right.
And, the other thing is that would you want to buy a bike in the middle of a trip like this?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of tough. You got to transfer all your shit. You're losing a couple hours for paperwork and all kinds of bullshit. The break-in period, because you do get out on those roads where you might have hours of 80 miles an hour, so the break-in on the motor. So it's something to think about. Do you really want to do this and just supporting your local economy? And there's something that you said about buying from a local dealership where if shit goes bad, they know you and they know you bought that bike from them. So it's kind of all stuff I was looking at. But I did go sit down for a few minutes with a dealer, and he gave me
You were in the
insight.
office.
I was
saw
in
you
the office.
Maybe on film. I was not rooting for you to get a bike on this trip at all.
Oh fuck! Don't go with buddies, and even hint to them that you might be interested in getting a bike because
No pressure there, was
they
there?
will help you spend your money. Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. I do want to mention this because I'm monitoring the chat too while I'm listening there because I can multitask sometimes. Gary Jackson, I told everybody in there that I am going, if you guys are wondering, Russell Roberts is another machine. He rode a shitload of miles with Mark Arnold, and that guy rides. And Russell Roberts, but
he's the snowman.
He's the snowman. That is official.
He doesn't
snowman.
like it, but he's the snowman.
So you can't necessarily like your nickname. But
No.
Yeah.
I don't think Oscar necessarily likes his.
Apparently not. He doesn't even like the song. He doesn't
It's
like
what
the
you
song.
get. It's what you get.
That was an episode nickname or an incident nickname. Those happen sometimes.
That's right.
Cowboy got his through an incident name, but the nickname Cowboy is pretty good. Yeah. But in fact, I forgot to tell you guys about that. Write me offline.
We'll have to hear about that.
All right.
So I wanted to mention that Russell, after you guys had a non-sanctioned patron meetup, I already did an episode on that, the planning phases of it. Russell was in charge of that, and I will be doing an episode. I've already reached out to Russell, so stay tuned. We will be doing an episode remotely with Russell on how that event, because I'm actually very curious about how the non-sanctioned Eastern, we'll call it, patron meetup went. So, so we got to have some fun at the dealership, but it was time to kick stands up. We had a day ride plan. Carl Quist had just a beautiful day, 143 miles, 3 hours saddle time, 4 hours total with a refreshment gas stop along the way, basically. And then the ride was to end at the park that we rented in Salt Lake City. Of course, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So let's talk about your guys. Oscar, do you want to cover the awesome ride that Carl Quist and the snow situation?
Yes.
And all that?
So, and I know I told Carl 100 times already, very well planned ride. It's easy when you have a couple of buddies that jump on your bikes and go, hey bro, I need gas. Well, we got to find gas.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a mild start to the first gas stop, which was perfect because it wasn't very far, but it was a good top off. And so we stopped, and there was a grocery store, and we got some guys were hungry, so we got some snacks and we got gas. But this is a group of how many? Was there 40 of us total with us included?
Somewhere around there. A couple guys bagged out the last second, so without saying, 30 to 40.
So that's a huge group. So well planned out for such a giant group. And then up into the mountains. And except for that giant
Loader,
freaking
fucking
front
loader.
What an ass. This was a beautiful ride. And he kind of talked to us about it ahead of time. And
there's only about 1,400 spots that dickhead could have out of the way.
Yeah, dude, we were all mad.
So, and what did we pass? You guys remember what we passed? Not everyone saw it. Nudist camp. And
Did
I'm
we?
like, yeah, we
What?
passed a nudist camp.
What the fuck?
I wouldn't have looked into
All right.
it.
It was
Carl's not allowed to ride plan anymore.
we are not a camp. It was like, remember Daryl was talking about it. It said like
Nudist camps are the kind of people that shouldn't be naked.
well,
it's
I
kind of
know.
like
I'm
when
not
I was
commenting
recently
on-
in Portland and got in the middle. The people should not be naked. But yeah, go ahead.
So we passed a nudist.
David Schwartz
area.
saw it.
Yeah, he did.
I'm surprised. Did David Schwartz pull off and stop? Did he
That
catch
must
up
have
with the
been where
group
we
later?
lost him for a few hours. That's where he went. I knew we lost him for a couple of hours.
So we head up into this canyon, and that morning Carl talked about it, and he said canyon. I'm thinking, okay, whatever.
Brad Johnson saw it. He said it's a naturalist camp.
Yeah, no, it was nudist, dude. There was like no.
Carl
clothes.
says I have never stopped at the nudist camp. Probably don't smell very good there. Probably doesn't smell
Yeah,
very
because
good.
they don't shower, right? They're always naked.
So I'm saying these people are the people that shouldn't be naked. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Women with just fur.
Oh,
just
yeah.
fur.
Total
everywhere.
fur and
60s porn.
floppies, dude.
Jesus.
Floppy.
Total 60s
Yes.
porn.
Put your shirt back on, honey, please.
David
Okay, anyway.
Schwartz says busted. This is getting ridiculous.
So we go up. We end up Bald Mountain Pass, and it was amazing. Up
It was awesome.
10,700 feet.
Over
There was
11, wasn't it? I thought it was over 11.
just a hair under 11.
I may have it in my notes, but I have it on film anyways. All right.
Somewhere around 11,000. There was still a ton of snow. In fact, just up around so that front loader was actually going. They were still clearing snow up around the corner, and so Carl said he rode down, and we couldn't go any farther. It started
It
getting
takes you to
slushy.
Mirror Lake, right?
Mirror Lake. That
Okay.
was that was the goal where we were supposed to go. We couldn't make it because of snow. And so we were standing there and it was
The
just,
fucking snowplow got stuck and blocked the road.
Carl says it's just, Carl Quist is in here, chat says just under 11,000. So good.
yeah. And that's where that loader was eventually going, was up to clear more snow. In fact, while we were watching that dude ride his snowmobile past us right there,
that was
load
pretty
up,
cool.
and that was pretty cool. What an amazing
Yeah, so there was
area.
a dude, what Oscar's talking about, there was a guy who was out riding his snowmobile around us. We all stopped, 30, 40 bikes stopped on the side of the road, and we're all kind of just bullshitting and taking pictures and stuff, because in certain spots there was still probably 5 foot of snow
At least.
on the side of the road. And yeah, some guy was out there riding his snowmobile around up on the road, and then Carl had went up past where we stopped to see how much further we could go, because he said there was actually a couple cool viewpoints and whatnot, but not more than a mile or so. I think he said after where we stopped, the road got slush on it and shit. And there, like I said, there was a stuck snow plow, and it really turned into a shit show.
A
and
week
not much of
later-
an area to turn around.
A week later, it was all open. The reason I know is I have a cousin that lives down there in Salt Lake City. He's an adventure bike rider, and he sent me pictures because he had saw my posts. And he goes, a week later, he showed a bike up at Mirror Lake.
Oh,
so
nice.
I think it was like a week later that he or 2 weeks later. I can't remember, but yeah, it did open up. So go ahead, Oscar.
just a fantastic view. I mean, we've got some
The
high
ride
elevation
alone
there.
was awesome.
It was awesome.
You
So-
gained quite a bit of elevation quick. Well, just
we
under
really
11.
did.
Yeah.
we really did. And it was a beautiful day. It wasn't cloudy or rainy. It was pretty nice.
Oh,
it was cold up there, but I mean,
couldn't
you know,
ask.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better.
I wouldn't
day.
really say cold, just
After
the
you've been
colder-
there for half an hour,
Yeah.
like we had,
Yeah.
it started getting cold.
Yeah.
Got a little
And I didn't
chilly.
know we
in
were going up.
comparison to 90 degrees.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know it was gonna be that fucking cold, so I didn't bring a bunch of extra gear.
I think some people were that way, and maybe I didn't do a very good job on that in the future.
Or
I will say maybe I didn't do a very good job putting that out to some of the members, but I always have all the gear I need anyways. I don't really tell
Yeah.
people what gear they need. So it's kind of a catch-22. I had plenty of gear because I always carry my nice big coat in my saddlebag, but maybe I can look in hindsight, maybe I can be better at saying, hey, remind people on the emails, bring gear, like you said, that's not weather for your area. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you
right.
should be prepared. And sometimes I forget that everybody should just
well,
be prepared.
I took off my bag, and a bunch of shit that's normally my saddlebags
Right.
was out, and so
True
the
for
gear
us.
that I normally ride with, I was in my hotel room.
Yeah.
Carl gave us a little bit of a warning, like at the briefing. Hey, we're going to be going up where there's like snow.
And I think some people maybe not had all their gear because they
Yeah,
did like we
because
did.
ahead of time.
I kind of feel bad about that. I'll try to put that in email. Says make sure you have gear for all weather conditions because it could rain.
Michael White down there in Australia says, okay, for future reference, if there are snowmobiles riding around, it's too bloody cold to ride. You blokes are nuts.
Shout out Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice dude. Thanks for reading some of those. Beautiful ride up, curvy
Beautiful
road,
ride, yes.
beautiful forest, gain a lot of elevation, snow melting, snow banks on both sides of us, some water running across the road, no biggie, but absolutely a must ride.
Yes.
One of the patrons, and I can't remember, and I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't have it in my notes, but he looked at me, we were on one of our breaks, and he goes, you know what? He goes, I've lived in Salt Lake City for X amount of years. And he goes, I have never ridden that road. I didn't even know that road. You know how it is? I haven't ridden some roads, very few in Washington. So he's like, it's on his deal now. But he was real straight about like, I can't believe I've never been aware or ridden that road.
Well, I don't know if do you remember when we were ride planning and we tried to pick, like we were looking at maps going, where are we going to ride in Salt Lake City? We would have never gotten that.
Right.
I mean, we would have picked some, maybe ride around the lake or something. We talked for like an hour looking at maps going, where are we going to ride? How are we going to do this? And we had pulled up some pass that was closed and I'm like, shit. So Carl, you nailed it, dude. That was an awesome ride. It was a good length.
Yeah.
And
Good
Carl
road.
said it'd been like 7 or 8 years, or he didn't remember. I don't remember. He didn't remember a season where it wasn't open by that time all the
Right.
way to Mirror Lake.
Right.
So he made the best of it, and it was the best.
It worked out. It worked out really well.
I got some really cool shots up there. I popped the drone, of course, at 11,000 feet, which is high elevation on top of what the drone was climbing. So some thin air up there and all that kind of stuff. But got some really cool shots, and we
I can't wait
bonded
to
up
see
top.
those.
Oh,
I can't wait. And that was fun. I got to talk to every single person there.
did you? Yeah, we
Look at
spent a
all
few
the
time.
different bikes and stuff. That was awesome. Yeah, that was probably my favorite part of the whole trip.
Patrons never disappoint when it comes to organizing an event and taking us out on a cool day ride. Every time that we've done it, it's been badass.
Yeah.
They take us on a great ride, and it's always, good conversation and just meeting people from all over the place and just having that
Common biker experience.
Exactly.
There you go. Well said. I was trying to think how to put that.
You used your big words that time. Good job.
It's about as big words as I get, but
Yeah, it was awesome.
I
Like
sound
said, never
educated.
disappointed on the rides.
yeah, we haven't been burned yet. Absolutely not. So it was time to head down, and the ride down is just as beautiful as the ride up, except it starts getting warmer again real quick. And
right.
I'm sure to some it felt great to get warm again because from what I'm hearing, and I'm sorry about that if some of you were a little cold. So the ride back down. So this was really cool. Do you want to talk about the where Carl took us from here?
No.
You have no clue. Anyways,
We went down, you're talking about to the park, right?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we rode back down to a park. Everybody met up. And
I remember
then-
the park,
Yeah.
but I thought maybe you were insinuating because we rode back to the grocery store and we got gas again if we need to, and we got drinks and stuff, and then from there we rode to the park.
Yeah. So no, we went and had went back to the park, and that's where
The
we had a
Olympic Park?
cated event from LAB
no.
Biker.
Talk about
That
the
one-
Olympic Park.
Oh, shit! I forgot about
That's
that.
what I was. Yeah, sorry. You said park, so I thought you were on cue. Yeah, go.
Shit.
Go
My
with that.
bad. No, that's right. We went to Olympic Park. They have a museum up there from when the Olympics were hosted there, and then they've got ski jumpers. These people are learning how to do the flips and whatnot on the high jumps, and they're jumping off into a pool. Crazy. So they've got, so that you don't hit so hard into the pool, they've got air that they shoot up through the bottom of the pool.
Wasn't even aware of that. I looked at it. I wasn't
All the
even aware of
bubbles.
that.
Did you watch all the bubbles
I did.
coming up?
I just didn't know what. That was cool.
Yeah,
That
so
was
they,
cool.
they put up a shit ton of air through the bottom of the pool.
Probably because
so
it's hard
that
to swim with skis on, so it keeps you buoyant.
No, so you don't smack.
Exactly. So
Okay.
it doesn't smack so
Don't
hard.
you think it helps them rise
Yeah.
too, so they don't?
So-
Because
they had-
with skis you sink really quick. Maybe that
They have a
helps them.
life jacket.
They had a
on.
life
Did
jacket
they?
on.
I don't know.
Where were you?
Well,
I don't know what the hell's going on.
I was all over the place filming.
Park.
I was all over filming as usual.
Oh, shit. But no, it's
Doing
it creates
100,000 things.
Creates a ton of bubbles in the
Okay.
pool, so that when they hit, they don't smack it.
Gotcha.
And they fall down a little bit better into the pool, so they don't hit so hard. But so we sat there and watched, Olympic skiers, or just people learning how to do these jumps and whatnot. Going
Pretty
off, and that
amateurs,
was
the
pretty
people we saw.
Yeah, they
But
were.
yeah.
Yeah, amateurs compared to
I could
Olympic guys.
have went up there with a snowboard and did a
No problem.
360
Oh,
for him.
yeah. Shit.
Damn it.
But so it was
720
pretty-
game.
Yeah, it was cool. And then they had like what are their toboggan deals called? Not
Yeah.
Damn it.
Toboggans. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The luge.
Luge.
Yeah, luge.
no,
runs.
not the luge. They're all sitting in the
Bobsled.
bobsled.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay,
Yeah, they're in a
yeah.
bobsled. So they had the bobsled run going and whatnot. And you can pay to do all that shit. You can,
They have
you can
zip lining
pay-
there?
You can pay to go on a bobsled run.
You can, you can. Oh yeah. I heard that. I heard that some of the guys wanted to do it, and I was like, dude, we can't. We got to
Yeah.
get back to
Yeah.
the park. Rick wanted to do it. He's like, dude, we're gonna regret not doing it. I go, yeah, but we didn't know that
Oh,
was
fuck. We
there.
were talking about putting like Rick and then
We can't do that.
putting Rick in there and frickin' putting
The guys that are afraid of heights lurch.
No, the big boys in there.
Yeah, all
yeah.
the weight.
Yeah, all the weight, just having like 1,000 pounds of man going down the fucking.
No doubt, dude.
They'd be going so they had to blow out the side of it. And,
Right into the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Right into
Had
the
it
bowls.
not been
Right.
patron day, I would have been all in.
Oh, yeah.
But I looked
Yeah.
at him like,
BDK and
dude,
goat going down the
Oh,
road, the
God.
freaking thing together. Oh shit, that'd be fast.
they do have some stuff that you can do there. It's a cool center. So anyways, that was really cool. In the interest of time, we're going to move right on. And it was back to the park. What a great time. The park we rented there in Salt Lake City, all to ourselves for the most part. It had a covered section where all the picnic tables were. And it was, I don't know what else to say. And then you guys can jump in if you want. We had it catered with barbecue food. Carl did a wonderful job setting that up. There was plenty of food for everybody. I do want to mention that we had it sponsored this year, which we've never done. I'm going to try to do that in the future. I want to mention the following companies gave us stuff for giveaways. So we had a huge giveaway. Carl, Big Daddy Kane did a wonderful job up front there doing the giveaway. Everybody pretty much left with something, I think. But Zero 3D, Bike Bright, Bug Slide, Rick Rack, Cruise Tools, Of course, they're all stuff we carry in our store, but all those companies ponied up. So make sure if you get a chance and you're ever communicating with those companies, thank them for sponsoring the patron event. Everybody got a whole bunch of, I think everybody got something. And then, of course, Tim Tilson, Andrea, of course, everybody got a t-shirt and all that kind of stuff. It was a time of reflection and biker bonding and having a few drinks and some good barbecue, reflecting on the ride and just getting to know each other. David Schwartz got up and gave a nice little speech. A lot of that stuff will make, depending on the cut on some of the stuff, the documentary film, but it was a real heartfelt speech just about the law-abiding biker community and how it gave him the confidence to work on bikes through lab videos and all that kind of stuff. And there was just a bunch of people that said kind words. And it was just a bonding experience. And that's all I have to say about the dinner event. If you've never experienced one, you really need to. Highly recommended. Any of you guys have anything to recap on that?
No, it's awesome.
I had a really good time getting to know guys that I see their names all the time, and now I have faces to put to it. And yeah, I had a really good time. That was enjoyable.
Canyon Rim Park is the name of the park, if you're curious, that we ended up at. And maybe at the end of this episode, we'll kind of talk about maybe what we're planning next year. But that gives us an idea there of the patron day. And it's always a wonderful day. It's I said it at the brief. We briefed everybody on safety prior to the ride. The only thing we'll say in the future, do we even need to get into that? No, we're not going to get into that. That's something on the planning back end. We're always learning as we do these events, like what works best, for planning these type of things. So we're always learning and debriefing. I know Popeye and I debriefed and Oscar on this event, and it was just awesome, every part of it. But we're always learning, how
to make it better,
and help us help the patron members,
right?
Because we always want it to be just as safe as we can. Because the bigger we get, the more riders there are, and just trying to take safety precautions. So let me do this real quick. Hey, Bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation that equals less time installing, more time riding. Zero 3D has a design team of riders with over 40 years experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them. sales@zero3d.com. Give them a call, 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged. So check out Zero 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Goldwings. Got a lot of Goldwinger listeners. Help support us. That's the best way. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of Zero 3D products. There you go. All right, so that was Patron Day. And just own it. I always sleep good after it is one of the highlights of my year. And I always get so nervous leading up to those events. I really do, because it's so much planning and you just hope that nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
You're just like, did we plan it right? Do we have enough this food? Is it going to be a great experience for everybody? I take that very seriously, because that's our time to serve and get to know. In person. Online is great, but it's our time to serve the community. And again, thanks to Carl and of course Tim and Andrea Tilson right here from Washington State, Kapowson, Washington. And there you go. Let's dive right into day 5. So we got the patron event done, and I can rest a little bit easier this night. I usually pass out the night of day 5, knowing that the event went well, and I was so not stressed. Like, that was great, and I passed out. I'm sure Oscar. I just spooned up next to Oscar, who was my roommate,
and I finally wasn't.
He rubbed my head a little bit, ran his fingers through my hair, gave me a little kiss on the forehead.
I tried to get you to shower. That could have gone well if you would have showered, but no.
I know. Oscar the last thing I remember is Oscar whispering in my ear saying, The event went well, little guy. The event went well, little guy. Sleep tight. So that's totally ridiculous, dude. All right, day 5. Dive into it, Popeye, or somebody, please.
We went from Salt Lake City down to St. George, Utah, via via Zion, however we're going to say via or via. So we took off. We had a little debacle Oscar up front, freaking, all zoned out or something.
In all fairness, I'm looking around. Not at this fucking street signs and shit.
What happened this morning?
Right
here, let's start with
left
this.
wheel track.
Before we trash on Oscar.
Oh, yeah. So Lurch and Big Daddy Kane, they headed back. They had stuff they had to do. They had to get back to work or run the store. Yeah, Lurch had to get back to work. BDK wanted to get back to run the store.
Run the law-abiding biker store.
Just coming in, was all nervous. There were a bunch of orders and wanted to turn around and head back.
It does always suck losing guys, though.
Yeah.
You're always like, it's kind of like the trip's winding down a little bit. I know we had a lot left, but I always hate losing guys. But Lurch did have a work commitment. Big Daddy, awesome store manager. I couldn't convince him. And it's nice that Lurch was going to ride back alone. So it actually worked out well for safety wise. It's just not good. And I know some people ride alone, but when you're riding for 8 days, 3,000 miles, I strongly encourage you not to ride alone. It's just kind of a safety issue. If you do it, cool. Whatever, you do what you have to do. But it was nice that Big Daddy could go back with them because they were going to make it a 2-day, spend the night. They got to spend the night together, eat dinner, not literally together, but they.
I mean, maybe. No one, we weren't there.
They probably both sat and sucked their thumbs and cried about not going up the gondola. Probably, cried like we're pussies.
Everybody thinks we're pussies. Had to turn back, fucking couldn't ride the gondola, couldn't do the trip, fucking pussies.
Sorry, Matt, it's those two. I understand.
That better not get edited out. Go. Pick it up, Popeye. Sorry. I just wanted to digress and talk about that. So we were down to 4 of us, right?
No, 6.
6. Sorry, 6 of us. We started with 8.
Which is a smaller crew than what we usually ride with a lot of times anyway on these rides.
Makes it nice, though, I'll tell you that.
It is a little quicker. We missed the turn to 89 because Oscar went.
We didn't miss the turn.
It
was so beautiful. I wanted us to go a little longer on that.
Get a little more of the view.
Where the fuck were we going? We were going to end up like in Colorado or something like that. Somewhere.
So we had to turn around, backtrack 20 miles.
I got punished twice for that. I don't have a boom box. And so I have my iPhone and I don't either. I couldn't get the sign and I went, I think that was our turn. And we kept fucking going. And then it was kind of like, hey, we better pull over here. I finally opened the GPS. I don't think we're going the right way.
Yeah. Was that the dead end road at the gravel?
No.
That was the next day.
We'll get to that. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, that one was a badass ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good ride.
We're going to get to... This is not the only mistake.
Until the gravel. Made.
Yeah.
No, but so I couldn't get the ride planner loaded because apparently you can't get into your iPhone unless you have an account and shit. So I didn't have the ride planner. I don't have the boom box or whatever, and I don't pay attention. Let's just face it.
Correct.
I didn't pay attention.
We know way the fuck over on time again, aren't we?
Yeah. All right. So we had to turn around and go back to 89, and then that was pretty cool. We drove by that sunken house, and that was all right. That road wasn't
bad. House, it was down in like a pond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? The house was 100 years old.
How did that happen?
The pond probably raised and the house probably sank.
Yeah.
But they had merged together.
That was pretty cool.
So, yeah, we went down. I don't remember Wingers for lunch.
Wingers that's because it was in the midst of that god-awful heat and wind, right? I mean, we hit 70. We hit the freeway. And then we just rode in this insane headwind and it was fucking hot and it was miserable. Wingers was that, we had those boneless... I have buffalo wings or whatever. It was like more of a commercial place.
It is. It's a chain.
Yeah, we rode across the street and got gas, and then we took.
It's one of the only places we could find in that town, though. When we were planning the trip,
right?
All right. That looks safe.
I think I know what place you're talking about, but is that Utah?
Yes.
And we got like a 25-ounce beer or something like that because it's only at 2%.
Yeah.
Right. We haven't talked about beer yet. I have it on here too. We got to talk about the Utah debacle. We're going to get into that.
Okay.
The Utah beer debacle. We learned how to bootleg liquor.
Yeah.
All right.
So after that kind of sucked. That sucked right there. Going to Richfield sucked. Freeway, 80, windy, hot,
cowboy
bullshit, almost
with
out
his
of
legs,
gas.
laying on his bike doing a Superman because he couldn't cut the wind.
Oh,
and he was getting so tired because he doesn't have a non-fairing bike. We're going to have cowboy on here.
Yeah.
And he learned real quick. Nobody in the Sworn Few MC has made it more than a year without trading in their bar hopper bike. We say that lightly, bar hopper bike, for a actual touring bike because he was hurting.
The street bob was not meant to go that far.
The street bob, he rode it.
He did,
but he's done. He was kicking tires by the end of the trip. So, anyways, when you really get into touring, those bikes just don't cut it. So
they don't. So then we just go. How do we get into
Wingers and Richfield? That's fine. Richfield, little town, gas right, crazy winds. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we go down, take we stay on 89 and we go through Mount Carmel Junction.
Fucking
89
right,
wasn't
Tanner.
bad, but we got stuck by it. Man, we just constantly, it was like we would pass a car and then have to pass a car and then pass a car. So 89 wasn't bad. I was down there last year when I took my family to North Rim of the Grand Canyon and stuff, but we got to hit Highway 9 and go into and through Zion National Park, which is I was there last year. It is badass.
Yeah. And the way, man, I tell you, you picked a good direction to come in from. So when we came into Zion, we came from the north going south. And the nice thing about that is because you'll hit stop and go traffic and you're going downhill.
Right.
So you're not having to constantly play that clutch.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I say that is, well, yeah, you're going downhill, so you're not having to play that clutch. You just kick it into neutral and, run your rear brake or whatever a little bit. Otherwise, shit, I came up from the other way before when I rode down to Laughlin years ago, and I came up from the south to the north, and we got stuck in traffic, and what a bitch. You know, sitting there going uphill and playing your clutch, and you go a little
hot.
bit, and oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, it gets hot, and then those bikes get really hot. You go 5 feet. So it turned out good. What'd you guys think of the tunnel? You'd been through
It was
it.
awesome. Yeah, so, just before the tunnel, we went on a hike.
Bucket list item, Zion National Forest bucket list item
So on the
right
north,
now.
on the north side, just before you go into the long tunnel that's like a mile long or something like that, there's a hike that we all got off and went and hiked up, and you get a view over the canyon.
It's an overlook, right?
Yeah, the overlook.
And
The
it's
scenic-
probably a mile in maybe.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Absolute beautiful
That
view.
was
100 degrees
Yeah,
that
hot
day.
as shit. It was hot.
Sweating our asses off, but totally worth the hike.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the overlook, and we had pre-planned that.
We did.
If you have motorcycles, you probably get parking.
Yes.
Maybe.
Right.
If you don't have a motorcycle, you probably won't. It's a very small parking area. Oscar knew that because he went with his family. We were able to get like all six bikes in one spot, just
Basically,
in front of each other. That was the last spot left too. So get there early and don't go through there without stopping at the overlook. So just go early so you get a parking spot. Stack your bikes up, walk in the mile. It is a bucket list item, guys. I'm telling you, it is a
Totally
bucket list item.
badass.
You got to do it.
Yes.
Zion National Forest
Zion National Park.
or Park. Yeah.
Yep. Worth it.
Sorry.
The scenic overlook. And the way it was 18 miles from, if you're coming from the north and you hit Highway 9, it was like 18.4 miles. Because once you
So the
get
west,
to,
right here.
to the south, basically.
Okay, well, it looks like west here. We're going. It runs to the west of the St. George,
It does.
southwest.
Southwest. Once you get past that parking lot, that's it. It's over.
Right.
You're in the tunnel, and then there's no turning around. So just go. When we hit the junction with 9, and we took off from that gas stop
From Mount Carmel.
from Mount Carmel
Right.
Junction, I actually set the trip because I set the trip when I saw the sign that says 18 miles to the tunnel, because this overlook is literally right before the tunnel. Mm-hmm. Like the second parking lot is like right at the tunnel. So just know that when you go, it's worth every penny. And that interagency pass gets you through that. You don't have to pay.
Yep. It's windy. It's switchbacky. There's the rock formations, the geological stuff. I mean, both sides. Like you could reach out and touch a wall. Like your mirror's damn near touching some of those walls because the roads are narrow. Great pavement, well maintained. It's a national, a national park. So it's amazing.
awesome.
There's pull outs, here and there where you can get photo ops. But hike in. Squid was pretty scared there too. Lurch and
Well, the other thing for him is he got fucked up knees. He had both his knees replaced.
That's
He
Wow.
had
too.
he had a hard time with his
he didn't
knees.
like some of those ledges either.
Yeah.
No.
I got some film of them.
Spider-Mo 443.
There was the one ledge that was pretty sketchy. It was like a goat trail, and we had goat with us.
Right.
So that was good.
We did have goat.
He was fine.
He was giving us goat calls trying to climb the rock walls. People were staring at us. We got kicked out.
How's that guy doing?
We got kicked out, not going to lie to you. But I got some great film up there, and it was 100 degrees. We were soaking wet.
No
I think by the
shit.
time everybody got down,
Yeah.
we were like, that was worth it, but shit, I am ready to get to St.
And
George.
Oscar sweats like a whore in
Oh,
church.
dude. I basically took a shower anyway.
Oh my God,
Dude,
your shirt was soaked,
I was
dude.
sweating through everything.
Yeah. So then, we left there and into St. George, Utah.
The rest of the 100 and 103.
Yeah, where it definitely got cooler. Yeah, real cool. A lot cooler.
Oh, it cooled down to 103.
Right. It did. It was 103.
That was a miserable
as
fucking ride too. It was 50 miles. And then and that last bit was all freeway. That sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, it hot freeway. It was a little windy. Yeah.
Yep. So we just bombed into St. George and then got checked in and walked over to the Black Bear Diner.
Oh, yeah.
For dinner. Black bears are pretty good if you're in a state where they have black bears. Breakfasts are good there.
You know, I had chicken and waffles, and that was
I think
delicious.
we just went there because everybody was so hot and sweaty and tired from riding, and it was close. It wasn't my number one pick, but it was fine. It's a chain, and it fed us, and we got our 4%
Since
beer.
you got it on the show notes, and I'm here, you got that.
I had pot pie. It was good too.
No. Where I lost my sunglasses.
Oh, yes.
Since you've got it on there,
That was badass.
we took off out of
Mount
Carmel.
Yep.
And we take off and
Is
ride
it caramel
for
or caramel?
Whatever, caramel. And we take off and we ride for like,
Gondola.
I don't know, 20, 30 miles, something like that. And I told Oscar, probably not more than a couple miles after we left, I look over at him and I'm like pointing at my eyes. I realize I fucked up. I left my sunglasses and I didn't know where they were, but I wasn't going to turn around and go get them.
Yeah. Once you get moving, you don't turn around.
No, fuck no.
Guess I'm buying a new pair tonight.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And like, fuck it. And so we got down to the hike where we hiked into the Zion, and we stop and I start taking my shit off, and lo and behold,
oh wow,
fucking sunglasses are sitting
You
right.
showed me where they were on your strut.
They got
for your rear
stuck in
fender.
between my
Saddlebag and strut.
saddlebag and my strut, and they hung themselves up there for like 25 miles. It was awesome.
Crazy, dude.
just sitting there, dude.
Just waiting for me. What are the odds?
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
That was pretty cool.
So anyway, yeah, we got into St. George, got checked in, had some dinner.
Cold shower.
Yeah.
Felt damn good, dude.
Yes, it did.
And then up the next morning.
Yeah, we didn't. We went back to the hotel that night, I remember.
Oh, that's
Hung
right.
out on
We had
that
a nice
patio.
patio.
Yep.
And we sat out in the 100-degree
Some guys had some cigars and
We
we
had some
drank
cigars.
a few cocktails.
and just reminisced about that day and what a day it was. Again, guys, wrapping up day 5. We're going to move into day 6. That's an absolute bucket list. We've told you a couple here. If you haven't ridden Zion, it is a must do. You will not be disappointed. Make that hike to the overlook and get your photos and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's move on right into day 6. Let's look over day 6 here, what we got. So we actually stayed, if you guys didn't know, we stayed in Salt Lake City 2 nights because we did the Patron. Then the next night, then we went to St. George. So it was 2 nights in Salt Lake City. Here was one of the main purposes of the trip. The farthest we were going to reach for this trip before we start winding it down and heading back. And this was Friday, June 21st. And this was our day ride. So we stayed in St. George 2 nights too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Right.
got in. Yep. And because this was just a day ride and it was the north rim of the Grand Canyon, we picked the north rim of the Grand Canyon because Oscar said, and I believe him, that it's a lot less busy than the south rim. And we just wanted to get in, see the sights, and spend some time there and get out without too crazy a crowds. So our day was 296 miles round trip, 5 hours, 45 minutes saddle time. Of course, that's just saddle time. And then we had a couple gas stop. We did eat lunch. We decided to eat lunch up at the Grand Canyon. We'll talk about that. So let's talk about the ride to the North Rim. All right. About 70 degrees heading out that morning, which felt damn good compared to
That was
103.
nice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right.
Awesome road. I don't remember. Do you have the highway that we took in there? Or Oscar, do you remember what it was?
89.
89?
Yeah, we stayed on 89 again.
Beautiful.
Oh, no, it was part of 89. Fuck, what was that?
Let me pull it up.
Stand by.
Because I did
Anyway, it's a great ride. It was nice. There wasn't a lot of traffic. The traffic that we had, there was passing spots, so we were able to get around them. Nice and scenic though. And then once we got closer to the park, nice twisties. You're up in the hills, and it was probably, in the morning, because we got there fairly early. So it was probably 60, 65 degrees. Nice riding. Well-maintained roads.
Very
Climbing.
well-maintained
We got
roads.
some good elevation, good corners.
Remember that corner.
Got some real good corners at points. Me and Oscar came into one a little hot.
Ooh, yeah.
Left some metal on the ground. We came into one that was a pretty good corner.
I remember that corner.
We were,
Did not pay attention again.
No, he just zones the fuck out, and he's just looking around and not paying attention for like speed limit signs, you know, like you should.
Sharp corner.
Yeah, sharp corner. Oh shit, lean. So yeah, we came in but I went into it with Oscar and I saw all the signs, but I still decided to go into it at the same speed.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
We're gonna die together.
That's right. That's how we roll.
So we
Highway
came
9.
in and our freaking our boards were dragging.
They were dragging.
Highway 9. That's
To 59. Highway 9
to 59.
Yep. And then around Hurricane, you get on Highway 59, it looks like.
59 was a little boring. I'm not going to lie. That was the long, straight. But you know what was the coolest part? On that random giant cliff, the American flag.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And it was a mountain, 4,000 feet or whatever, and there's a random American flag at the very top of it.
It was awesome. And the
It's
wind
kinda
was
like riding
blowing
in-
pretty good.
Yeah. Just cliffs and rock formations off way in the distance. It's
Right.
pretty wide open up until you get closer to the actual north rim of the Grand Canyon. So Highway 59, that's the way went in from St. George. And then obviously here, once you get close, that's when the beauty starts, right?
Yeah,
When
we
you
hit
get into that
89.
forest. Although a lot of those roads are just wide open, flat prairies.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
But
Right.
89 was the one with the big signs that said not patrolled at night and not plowed at night or
Right.
whatever. So they're letting you know in the wintertime, don't go up there or take a snowmobile.
Yeah, but even the road coming into there through 89 and whatnot, was that 89 or was that something different?
Alt 89.
Yeah, all right.
But before then, was it before then? No,
Yeah.
even 80. Okay, so 89. 89, you know,
Turns
before you get close to the Grand Canyon, yeah, like you said, it's not a lot out there. It's
the Kaibab Indian Reservation.
in its own right. I mean, like you said, there's, cliffs and whatnot out in the distance. So it was pretty cool.
Right there where we just passed Kaibab is where we started going and hitting those corners. And that was a pretty cool ride too. That was a nice section.
So we got into the actual park and got into there. We took a little hike down to an overlook of the Grand Canyon. Got some
Angel's Landing.
great pictures.
I don't remember.
What was the name? There's a name to that. It's not Angel's Landing.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
the most popular there at the
Yeah,
North Rim. If you Google it, I Googled it
And
before. There's
what
a point.
What was great about the North Rim is it wasn't that crowded.
No,
it
not
wasn't
at
a lot
all.
of people.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
Got plenty of parking
Yeah.
for us. We got early though.
Yeah.
We left early that morning and
Yeah,
got there at a
fairly.
decent time,
And hiked around, got some pictures, saw the sights, and then had lunch there in the saloon, which was kind of a cool saloon, an old, like 100-year-old feel to it or something. It's a cool old building there.
Fun saloon.
Yeah, just a cool spot. Sit down, and they had some pizza that was sitting there. We should buy pizza by the slice and had lunch and a beer, and then headed back.
Yep. And North Rim, guys, definitely, if you haven't been, obviously, which is the interesting thing, 46 years old and never been to the 47 and never been to the North Rim. So it was a bucket list item for mine. And I could have spent on that lookout point. You get up, you can hike up to some rocks and you can sit there if you've ever been to the North Rim. You know what I'm talking about? And it was the most perfect day, like very little breeze.
Yes,
and it could get windy. I mean,
yes.
it's a canyon.
Right.
It was like just something straight out of heaven. Like it was amazing. Perfectly. You'll see it on the documentary film. I got some great photo ops of the guys up on top of the rock, some video. Just the little breeze, the blue skies, no clouds. It was just like the picture perfect day that we could have picked. It wasn't too hot. It was 70, degrees or so, maybe a little bit cooler up on the rock there. I literally could have sat there for like 5 hours.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
wanted to spend more time there. And I knew we had to get back and, we got a trip we got to do, but it was really, really serene, or surreal, I should say, experience up there on those rocks. And if you haven't done it, do it. It is absolutely amazing. And some of the photos I'm talking about. I got some Sworn Few motors, the guys up there with their vest, and Cowboy's got his one leg up on a higher rock, and just you guys are overlooking the canyon. Some beautiful video shots too, I'm sure, which I haven't completely went over, but definitely visit the North Rim. Highly recommended. And hit that little saloon. That was a nice little, just to relax and sit. And because we knew we rode in, we get to ride the same roads back out, and we knew that they were beautiful.
Little easier.
So what was funny about this? So we take off. Were you going to say anything more about the Grand Canyon?
You go ahead. No.
So we take off out of here. And the night before, when we came into St. George, we started looking at some mileage.
Oh, yeah.
And it's only an hour and a half to Vegas.
That's right. Oh, God.
And so we got back to St. George at a fairly decent time, like 4:30 or something like that. But what's funny is that Ryan had said to Oscar the previous night, he goes, you know we're going to Vegas tomorrow, right? Yeah, Popeye is going to make us go to Vegas tomorrow.
You guys were drinking drinks on the patio, talking
Vegas
about going to Vegas. We're going to Vegas tomorrow,
We're
Oscar.
gonna go to Vegas. It's gonna be a long day, but all right.
We're done.
But we didn't.
That's how old we are.
Yeah, well, we got.
I was so surprised.
I totally got sidetracked. I know you were. You even told me, you're like, I can't believe you didn't fucking drag us. I fucking totally spaced it because we got back, and I think probably Ryan squirreled me on purpose. But we got back, and he's like, "We're going to dinner," and starts looking up shit. And otherwise, I've been like, "Fuck dinner! You're going to Subway, and we're bombing to Vegas." But I completely forgot about Vegas. Otherwise, yeah, we would have been in Vegas for sure.
Totally. All right, and it was one of those things. Basically, everyone said the same thing. Well, if you all are gonna go, I guess I'll go too. But if no one
Peer
does,
pressure.
okay, fine too. Yeah, it was totally.
We had guys that had never been to Vegas, and there's a couple that had
I
never
know.
ridden Vegas. So I mean, it's a bucket list thing to go ride the strip on your bikes. I mean, it would have been cool to do, but we didn't.
We got time.
Losers.
We definitely have time.
Losers. Oh God, dude. We got some cool drone shots.
What happened on the way back, though? What happened on the way back? Leaving the Grand Canyon.
We got some drone shots.
I know,
Is that
but what
you're
else
talking
happened?
about? Oh, well, let me look.
Shit, we have a mechanical problem?
Oh,
that's right.
Yes. Oh,
that
God.
is-
Not again. That's 2 trips in a row. I broke down on the side of the road. Bunch of bullshit.
So 1 mile outside of Fredonia, Arizona, which is in between the Grand Canyon North Rim and St. George. Yeah, Oscar, you want to explain this real in a quick nutshell? We ended up,
We were riding, and I was like, this is a strange vibration. And so I was
what
like,
she said.
Yeah, and it's fine. I mean, she says it a lot, but it's
Right.
fine. So I was accelerating. I'm like, nah, something's not right. And I was hitting the side of the bike with my right leg, and it would go away. And it was only happening when I was at certain RPMs. And then it started getting worse. I'm like, oh, this can't be good. And I reached down and grabbed the air cleaner cover, and the whole thing was freaking loose. Not like I could move it a little bit, but like, oh, damn. Like I pulled over, this thing's going to fall freaking off. And so I was like, I got to try and fix it. I can't ride like that because if it was at the point where it was going to fall off on the side of the road. So we went back to Fredonia, and I'm like, dude, where are we going to do this? It was hot. There was no sun, like
Hot as shit.
I'm pasty. I get to get out of the sun, sweat my ass off. So I was like, there's no trees. So we went back into Fredonia, and the first place I found was this abandoned service station, right? Basically.
Yeah, it's like an old 1950s
It was
service
so
station that
cool.
had been like 15, 20 years abandoned.
It had like carports over the top, where the gas pumps were, and then it was old glass doors. It was really cool, actually. It made for great video,
Right.
great for my documentary film. I did some drone, got some shots. So yeah, abandoned service station.
Abandoned-
Like you could make a movie there. It was really cool.
like of people getting murdered and
Yeah, right.
brothers sleeping with
Well, I
their
didn't say it was
sisters
gonna
and
be
stuff.
a-
The hills
good
have-
movie. Oh yeah, the
hills have eyes.
Yeah.
Definitely a horror movie. Definitely a horror movie.
I did in Fredonia. There's nothing there, so I was like, how far do I ride around trying to find something? So we just pulled in there and then broke out the old Cruise Tools kit,
Yeah,
and
buddy.
we ended up So the 2 bolts that hold the
Crank breathers.
the crank breathers,
For
but they
the
hold
stage
the
1
entire
air intake.
in.
Right.
Had for some reason come loose, so we put it back together and tightened it down, and then it was fine.
There you go. And that's what we're talking about, guys. Make sure you got your tools there because that could have
Cruise tools.
cruise tools.
And they really did think of everything. Like they had everything in there that I
And we had
needed.
our multi-tool,
Yeah.
which I wrap in there along with the Cruise
Right.
Tools roll kit, right?
Yeah, it had
I was
everything in
even
it.
fucking around with some shit on my bike the other day, and I was just too lazy because I was in my garage. I have a detached garage, and I've got a shop out back, and
Pull that out instead of going and getting your regular tools.
instead
I've
of going
done
to get
that.
my tools out of my shop, I'm like, fuck it. I just pulled the tools out of the Cruise Tools out of my
Nice.
my bag and used those, and yeah.
They
Nice.
did. It was well thought out toolkit. Had everything I needed. Even had some Loctite in there, which was cool.
did.
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
So we got to put back together and
And
Got on the way.
while you were sitting there screwing around with your Cruise Tools kits and fixing your bike, I was on the phone
that's right.
with the dealership.
with the
That's right.
dealership
About a bike.
back in Kennewick,
Yep.
Washington, with JR, who we've bought the lab crew has bought many bikes from. So I was talking to JR, and then I was talking to the manager, but JR was getting me hooked up, and we're kind of talking some numbers and him and Han, because by this time I had found a color that I had really liked. while we were down in Salt Lake City.
I knew shit was getting a little serious now.
Yeah.
This is probably how the documentary film will start, remember?
Yeah.
I said, because there's a couple stories in this film. Yeah.
So I was sitting there, I was looking at it and just kind of running some numbers in my head, running some numbers with JR, talking to the manager. The next day, actually, I was talking to the manager. So this is really where it really started kind of getting serious and looking at what was going to happen. And then, so we...
That's when Oscar started thinking about a new bike too.
Yeah, damn it.
When we got to Zion Harley Davidson in St. George, you were really looking too.
I just randomly saw this bike. I wasn't even looking. They didn't have a huge selection.
Yeah, we stopped by there on the way back, right? Yeah. Zion Harley Davidson, yeah.
Just a scruff, and I was going to get something. And I walked on right in front of the front door, and they had a maroon color. I've always been a black motorcycle guy. This maroon.
Mostly empty.
Oh, shit. You better clean that up right now. We can't have that.
Did you drop something?
No.
Okay.
He might have peed his pants, but
it's all empty. He looked over when it went over there.
Maroon. What was it? It was an 18 ultra limited, and I looked at it and I talked to the guy for a minute, but I'm like, nah. So we left, and then we got back to the hotel, and I was like, It was like 26,000 or something. Mm-hmm. I started thinking about it, and then it showed up in my dreams.
Oscar stressed all night. I've never seen Oscar stress so much as stressing about whether he's going to get this bike.
Well, and I was going back and forth, and then I thought, I didn't even write it. I should have wrote it. And then, damn it. So then we go to bed, and I sleep on it. I think I'm going to sleep on it. Well, that didn't help because I fucking dreamed about it all night.
I
didn't sleep.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't sleep very well.
Big old raging hard on all night.
Oh, dude, just bing. Right there. If you're in the live group, you can see that. Yeah. So we went back the next morning.
Not the actual.
Oh yeah. No, that was my pinky. It was just similarly size. Oh, sorry.
I will verify.
How do you know what size it is?
Right, well,
I knew you peeked at me.
We
in the
were
shower
roommates for 8 days. Just FYI, dude.
All right, so we go to bed. We wake up the next morning.
But we can't go into that day yet because that's the next day.
Yeah,
that's the end of the last. That's the end of that day.
We got back and you were hemming and hawing over the bike.
Oh, yeah, true.
We went out to dinner. I fucking totally forgot, and the other people, everyone forgot about going to Vegas because it was only an hour and a half away, and at 100 miles an hour because the speed limit's like 90. Wouldn't take us that long. But anyway, we went out to dinner. Picked a random place that I think Ryan just pulled up off of Google or Yelp or something. Huh? It was a good spot.
Like
it was
you said, they turn out well.
So here, now let's talk about some of this beer debacle.
Please do.
Shit.
Before we end this day, I'm going to rant. I'm going to rant.
Because our waiter did too.
Yeah, we'd been dealing with this thing for a couple of days now. We'd been in and out of Utah.
People.
And so we sit down, and you can only get beer on tap in Utah if it's on tap at 4%.
We were tired of this by the time we left Utah.
Fuck? So what we'd realized by this point, though, we had it figured out, is that you can get bottles and cans, just clap your hands.
That's bootleg.
It's
bootleg. I'm pretty sure what we were doing was illegal.
I said that. That's on video down in Utah, too. And you're like, what the hell song is that? It's back. Bottles and cans, just clap your hands.
Just clap your hands.
That's where it's at. But... So it's you can get bottles and cans down there, and you can get it over 4%. So it's normal. You can get like
they
6,
call
7,
them
8,
double
9%.
IPAs. Remember?
Yeah,
they call them double IPAs.
Yeah, these things
it's bootleg.
These are dangerous people.
We're probably wanted down there, dude. We were probably doing illegal shit.
So what's funny though is we all sit down for dinner, and they go around to each one of us, and they look at us. Are you 21? Are you 21? Are you 21? Are you 21? And they don't verify by fucking ID. We're all obviously over 21, but every one of us, are you 21? And then they go around the table again. Are you going to eat? Are you going to eat?
Yeah,
are
you
going to eat? Are you going to eat? So before they'll bring you your beer, you got to answer these fucking questions.
I feel like they're hooked up to a polygraph or something.
No, yeah. They're like, we're good, And it's just crazy. And so then our waiter told us, now whether it's just true or not, I don't know because I haven't looked at the facts.
Carl says most people buy their beer from out of state.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, to finish this thought. So the bartender tells us that we looked up, the limit went down to 0.05 for a DUI. And then he was saying that because of that, they're going to allow the alcohol volume on taps to be raised. The fuck kind of sense does that make?
I know.
And then what's crazy is that you can still go out and you can get hard A Or you can get
we
these
can only give you
bootleg
4%
bottle-
beer, but you can have Jack Daniel's straight.
Right.
It's just like, what the fucking kind of rule is that? Like,
Doesn't make it.
so you're going to force me to drink hard alcohol in your state is what you're going to do.
Right.
Dude. And the like you said, the weird thing is, and I was literally, you guys heard me because I was debating it at dinner. I really want to know, like, what, at some point that was some kind of useful law. It has to be. Not all laws are useful, but I'm like, okay, so you can get 4%, but then you'll sell me, that's draft. So draft, you got to fuck everybody up and all the beer dispensaries and screw them and make them make 4% beer for Utah, which tastes like shit anyways. But yet if it's in a can, you'll sell it double IPA and I can get 9% or 8% because it's in a can. But right next to all that on top of it is a whole rack of like hard alcohol. So I don't understand
Make any sense.
I could see if you just got beer and you're like, the only beer you can get, we don't serve hard alcohol in Utah and we only serve 4% beer, whether it's in can or draft. I could get it. I was like, okay, you're trying to regulate. I still wouldn't agree with it, but you're regulating. But to have those ass backwards rules, like we still can't get it. So if somebody's in the chat, I don't think anybody can ever make any sense of that. Even Utah people are like, Utah's stupid. Like I get it but if you're going to regulate something, regulate it. Don't half-ass regulate it. So I was always,
you couldn't get a can in a restaurant, right? So maybe the point was,
no, we got cans.
Remember,
we got double IPAs.
Yeah. Oh, that's right at that restaurant, man.
Every restaurant.
Shut up, Oscar. You're not drinking some bitch.
I didn't remember other cans. I remember
we did
the
it
last
in Salt Lake City. We did it in St. George. We did it in Salt Lake City when we got into George's place here. We did it. And we just learned, and I used to tell the waitresses, and as a joke, I would go, we want the bootleg beer. And they'd look at me and laugh. I'd say, we want the bootleg, the double IBA beer.
Yeah.
You know, don't give me any of your draft shit. It tastes like water. But hopefully Utah figures that shit out. Even Carl in here, it doesn't make any sense. Carl can't make sense. And I don't think anybody can.
No.
At some point, they thought that was a good idea. But clearly it's not working for them because we just either drink hard alcohol or we just get the bootleg double IPAs in the can. I'd rather drink draft, but whatever.
It tastes better.
I'm not going to drink water, and I got tired of drinking water. So anyways, sorry. We love our Utah people. It's not your fault. It's just one of the laws.
Some
there.
goofy shit.
Some goofy stuff. St. George's, 530, great place. Very cool ambiance, good food. So stop by there. It was a random pick, but I can't recommend it enough. George's Corner Restaurant in St. George's. And we're going to move on to day 7, I think, unless you guys have anything. It was a great Grand Canyon day. It was a great dinner, just reminiscing about the Grand Canyon. I can't say enough about that day. The perfect weather, fairly warm when we got back in. So let's do this real quick. Oh yeah. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that could slap your paint and come loose. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special. You can't find it anywhere else. Yep, these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to Law Abiding Biker Store and get hooked up with our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. lawabidingbiker.com/store. We're moving those things. They have a new rack over there that we're carrying. If you don't do a roller bag, you can actually, they designed something where you can actually have wheels on the rack itself. So you can use your regular bag. And I will be doing a review of that. They need to send me one. I got to get a hold of Shane over there. We have them in our store too, so that I can show that new model of Rick Rack bag with the wheels on the rack. I use a roller bag. The rack is attached to the roller bag, and then I can roll the bag that way.
Because it's a roller bag.
But now they have it to where you can put the regular bag and have the rollers on the rack.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
Yep.
All right, let's
and it's
move.
Still a roller bag.
It is still, well, it's not a roller bag
and then
anymore.
you can
It's a
roll
rolling
it.
rack.
Oh, roll,
It's a
rock and
roller
roll,
rack.
rack and roll.
All right. Winding the trip down. Let's move into St. George, day 7. Let's set this day up, and then we are winding this trip down, guys. We appreciate y'all being here. It's been great. I see you guys are in the chat there with the guys. What, you want to say something?
No, I was just thinking it's going a long time.
It is.
It's amazing how much there
Me
is.
love you long time.
There'll be about
long time.
long time. It'll be about 2 episodes, hour and a half each. So very good.
So last day, St. George, Utah to Twin Falls, Idaho.
489 miles, 7 hours,
wow.
15 minutes saddle time.
This is a good ride. Just touch under 500 miles. So
Cold as freaking.
it was cold. Holy shit. And we didn't really think about it because shit, you're up at, what, 6,500 feet most of that day.
Hang on, another one of these for Oscar for this day. Coming up.
You bitches were too much of a pussy to ride the gravel. That was a very well maintained gravel road.
We'll
That's
get
right.
to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to
And
it.
we passed some farms where sisters and brothers have relations and stuff.
Where?
It was a beautiful ride.
Where was that? What town was that?
It was out of.
So we took off. Yeah, we took
yeah.
off out of there. It was beautiful.
It was a beautiful ride.
roads from St. George heading north towards Twins Falls on US 93. A bunch of guys threw on their heated
this
gear.
was before that. This was on. We were on 18. We went past Snow Mountain State Park or whatever. What the hell is that state park? On 18. And I took that left and we should have followed
before
18.
you get to it,
hang on. We're not even there. We're not even there.
You fuck your way off.
So here's the
Way
thing
off
about
base.
US 93, which is what we took out of St. George towards Twin Falls. It was cold. I threw the heated gear on. It was Enterprise, kind of where we took the wrong turn. We'll get to. Don't worry, we'll get to it. Oscar.
It's not a wrong
No,
turn.
don't worry, we'll get to it.
Shut up.
You had no idea what you were doing.
Corey was absolutely freezing on a street, Bob, because he doesn't have the gear and he doesn't have a fairing. So that guy was cold. He freely admitted it.
He wanted to pull over earlier than what we did.
He's cowboy and all, but he was not happy. So let me tell you something about Highway 93, which was what I kind of noted is it's got cool twisty roads at first, then you gain some elevation, and then you go back down, and then all of a sudden it's flat, and then you go back into trees. You guys remember this? I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you get like 3 miles of elevation and trees, 4 or 5 miles, and then bam, flat again.
flat.
And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, we're going up elevation and more trees, and then you go back down and it's flat again. So it was beautiful at times, but definitely very
Good road. Better ride the interstate.
yeah.
Because it had that one left turn in it.
Right. No, it actually,
It had 2 left turns.
and that's why we rode
Like
this
NASCAR.
road better than just bombing
the
84,
freeway.
right? Or not 84.
50,
Yeah, whatever it is.
Something, one of the freeways.
Sorry. So we did get to Enterprise, and it was very cold that morning. I was fine, of course, but some of the guys were a bit cold. We geared up a little bit more, gassed up, and left out of Enterprise. And here we can talk about the debacle.
But Enterprise was before 93. That debacle was right out of St. George.
No, the debacle, we
No.
stopped for gas. It was right after gas.
Was there another
Guaranteed.
one? Was there another
Yeah,
one you
that was
fucked up?
that was the first gas stop.
That was Enterprise.
Yeah, but it was a tank. It was a whole tank. We went a whole tank until
Right.
we hit Enterprise.
Oh, well, yeah. I
It
mean,
was
but
Enterprise. It was right on the corner.
So
Before we had
200
93.
miles outside of
Correct.
St. George.
Correct.
It was not that far.
Yeah, we filled up. We filled
geez.
up there, and then you're right. We filled up, and then we went 25 miles.
Correct.
Off
It-
course.
Trust me, it's on the
We
document.
only went
Beautiful
6
roads.
miles off course. I was
Beautiful,
doubting my
beautiful
numbers.
roads. There was
I
great
took these-
scenery, some
I-
old farms. It was nice.
I took these dipshits to the nicest Forest Service road I could find, and you fuckers didn't want to ride it, and it's fine. I understand, you bunch of yahoos.
The funny thing was, though, I was watching my boombox the entire time, and it kept reroute.
Turn
But it was
around.
such a
You will
beautiful
die.
road.
You will die.
I didn't care. And I was like, okay, Oscar and Popeye clearly know.
I looked at it that morning, and that what was that?
Clearly you
Was,
didn't.
It was. It shows it on the map going straight up to where we came back around, but it didn't show it as a Forest Service road, and it didn't show the dotted break on it.
Right.
It looked fucking great. There was no potholes or nothing. You sissies
it
wanna
was a
turn
good
around.
road. I liked it. I was going to ride it.
No, it was fun.
I was ready.
And
Turned into an adventure road.
I would.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had
exactly.
the tires.
I was
so we're
fine with it.
I would have rode with. I'd have rode it. But we rode 25 miles out of the way. And honestly, I was looking at my boombox the entire time. I was like, okay, they know something I don't. Whatever. I don't care. It was so gorgeous that I didn't care.
It was a nice road.
Then what's funny is we came across these farmers that
Till
were
we
out
got to
there,
the-
and they're
Oh.
18-wheelers sitting right in the middle of the road, stop dropping hay. And they wave us. We go by. Nice.
You know
as-
they're going
and they're
dumb
just going.
fucks.
Just, yeah, another one of these stupid fucks. Google freaking directions took them off route.
Them guys in their computers.
They'll be back in a few minutes.
Them computers steered them wrong, boys.
And we went by that farm that was founded in what, like 1869 or
Right.
something. That was pretty cool. I wish that road would have gone somewhere.
Yeah.
I know.
It did meet up eventually with where we went, but it was all gravel.
After 100 miles of gravel.
Yeah, yeah. And Daryl was not happy about. He's like, I was not riding that gravel.
He was not. Oh
It
God.
would have been like 100 miles of gravel. That would have taken.
It would have been a lot. Yeah,
It would have taken a while.
So we got turned the fuck around finally.
yes.
And
25 miles back.
Yeah, so 50 miles off course. And back we went.
No worries.
And then headed towards Twin Falls, Idaho. But hold on,
nothingness.
No, yeah,
Towards Ely, Nevada, right?
There was, yeah, Ely. That was cool. I mean, it's
Nothingness.
you're up, 5,000 to 6,000 feet the whole time. There's
Roads
not a lot, but you're
as long
holy
as you can see.
shit.
It's straight for 200
Longest
miles.
I wish my dong was, but it's as far as you can frickin' see at times. It was straight road,
Unbelievable.
forever.
Just
as far
that
as you
valley.
can see, far as
Mountain
you-
range on both sides.
But it was cool, yeah, because we're in the valley, and then you had mountain ranges on each side of you, and there's
In a
snow not
distance.
that much up above you. Remember,
right.
I mean, the snow level really wasn't that much higher than what we were at.
And it was pretty cold. Everybody
It was cold.
I
It was
ran my
cold.
hated gear all the way to Ely.
Yeah.
And passed.
And then we pulled into Ely, and we had lunch, and then
at Rack's Brew Pub,
Rack's Group Brew Pub,
which
it was
we had
pretty
picked
good.
ahead of time, and it was good for a small
And it
town.
was funny because remember there was a sergeant with the county sheriff there. He saw us coming in, and of course he looks at our cuts and shit. And then we went in, had lunch. I got back on the phone with JR and the manager again and started talking bikes a little bit more. And then by the time we came back out, the sergeant was waiting for us.
Yep.
And we
and one of the deputies works, or one of the county guys also I think he's part owner of that bar.
No, it was the assistant fire chief.
No, there was a deputy in there too. He was a Leo. You didn't talk to him. You were already out. And he goes, hey, and he talked to me a little bit. And he goes, yeah, I'm a deputy here. And he was helping clean up glass and stuff. I just think his wife works there his day off, second job kind of deal.
Right. One of the part owners, though, the sergeant told us was like a fire chief or assistant fire chief.
Small town type deal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then, hop back on, freaking warmed up a little bit for us at least, and took off heading for Twin Falls.
Yeah.
What else do we have happening there?
Straight road.
There's a few little mountains though.
Little straight road. Some more straight road.
And then so we stopped at some town out in the middle of nowhere. We're like, where in the fuck are we gonna, for gas? And we're going, well, where are we gonna eat for dinner? And so Ryan pulls out his phone
in Twin Falls, right? Yeah.
Outside of Twin Falls.
Right.
We're probably still an hour outside of Twin Falls,
were.
saying where are we going to go for dinner, and let's just get to a dinner spot because it's getting late by this point. We best got slowed down because we got a late start. I mean, it was pretty late when we got into Twin Falls.
It was
plus
fairly-
we went 500 miles, I guess.
It was a long day. Yeah.
It was a long day.
Yep.
But so he finds
We did go out. Do I need to remind you we took a wrong turn?
We did go 50
Put us-
miles off fucking course.
Oh, you guys are fucking number one.
Love you,
That
Oscar.
slowed us down.
Love you, Oscar.
It only took like extra 20 minutes. You
I don't want to breeze over that.
bunch of bullshit.
Ryan finds the Kodo Brewing Company in Twin Falls,
Which
Idaho.
we've never been to. Got great reviews on Google. So I was like,
Yeah,
what
so
the
just
fuck?
found out, good place, good freaking good reviews, and hey, let's go try it out. Fuck it. So we pulled in there, didn't go to the hotel first or anything. We walk in, and the gal asks us, she goes, "Oh, are you guys here for the dueling pianos?"
Well, yes, we are. So we don't know.
What the hell's that? We don't even know. And she, did you make reservations? No. We didn't, and so she's like, well, shit, it's going to be busy tonight. Remember she was telling us how busy it was going to be, and they were full. They were full.
Yeah.
And so she goes, well, you guys can go, up to the bar, get a beer. And then I think they had some shuffleboard there, and you guys were playing foosball and stuff and making a racket. And then we got seated pretty good and sat down, and they had these dueling piano dudes that were there. Did you put the name of them up in there? Do you have any idea?
Dueling pianos.
I just call them dueling pianos. They're actually out of Boise, right?
Okay.
I think that was the name of their band, Dueling Pianos.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
But these guys, so they could play almost any freaking song. So they got obviously two pianos, right? Dueling pianos. And these two guys, and they're facing each other. And people would come up and put a piece of paper up on the piano with the name of the song that they wanted, and then maybe a couple bucks or $5 or $10. And sometimes some of these songs, they'd let them pile up if it was one of the ones that they really did a good job at. It might be a $20 or $30, $40 song by the time that more people came up and requested the same songs. Of course, they don't know that the other people have requested it.
Right.
And these guys would go back and forth, and they'd feed off each other
Real
during the
showman,
songs and stuff.
not
Yes.
just piano.
Fucking
real
incredible.
showman. The devil went down to Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that
Remember
was
that,
the
Charlie
most
Daniels?
amazing thing I've
And
ever
he's a
seen.
showman. And he's spinning
Yeah.
around,
Holy
playing the piano behind
shit.
his back, and just all kinds
Yeah.
of. It doesn't sound it. when you hear dueling pianos at first hearing of
We
that,
didn't
you're
think
like,
much of it.
These guys are
At first.
showmen. And
The Dev went down. Think about that. That's fiddle music.
Yeah, right.
That's a whole different
It
thing
is.
versus piano music. And that he played it sound just like the Charlie Daniels original. I was like,
and they could
damn.
play all kind. They were just,
They did.
You could
Everything.
tell well-versed piano players and really showmen.
Remember the one dude, he'd actually pulled up a song, he didn't know it. He
Yes.
pulled up the song and he was listening to his other buddies singing a song, and so it's loud, right? I mean,
He
it's
was
in a
trying to get the
bar.
notes, right?
Yeah, he's getting the notes from it and the lyrics, and he's sitting there holding it up right up to his ear, his phone, and he's listening to it, and then he turns around and plays the damn song
Yeah.
almost perfectly.
Yep.
It was
Holy
amazing.
shit!
Yeah,
how
no
do you do
books in
that?
front of these guys.
No.
Just straight up from memory. And,
Awesome.
yeah, it was cool. So if you ever get there, and those guys, they play there a couple times a month or something.
Yeah, he was going to be back down there again. I think late July, which of course this will come out after that. But yeah, they play
Right.
they bounce all over the place around Idaho.
Yep.
At least it
I
sounds
know
like.
he's from Boise, is what they said originally. So I believe from Boise, and then they run around to these places. But what a awesome for our last night of the trip. We just were like, everybody was just sitting there, and we had an outside seat. They opened the garage doors, and you can look in. So we had a bar, a bar basically in front of us, or a long table, and then stools, but we were sitting outside, but then it was part of inside. So it was really, really cool.
It's one of those places.
Cowboy
once
started
in a while
dancing
you-
again.
Oh,
Yeah.
he couldn't
Yeah.
stop. He could not
Cowboy
stop.
started dancing. I got
dancing up on goat, wasn't it? Or no, squid.
On squid.
Dancing up on
Squid, yeah.
squid.
He
It
had
was.
no idea that was on video
No, he
either. He
didn't.
was having a great
You're gonna
time.
find out.
But yeah, it's one of those things where you stumble across a place once in a while,
Yep.
and it just makes a night. Just badass. It was a great night to end it.
We had no idea. We thought we were going to do dinner and come back to the hotel, and
Exactly.
we stayed there. Just
Stay there a couple hours.
yep,
just listening to music.
Yeah, it was awesome. Outdoor table.
Yep.
Yeah, relaxing. What a great environment. Even if they aren't there, strongly suggest this place. What was the
Kodo
name?
Brewing.
Kodo Brewing
Kodo Brewing.
Company. Even if they weren't there, it's just a wonderful, wonderful environment. It was back to the hotel,
And we got in late.
We got in late.
We
and
argued
did
about
get
the
in late.
kickstands up.
Yeah, we did, didn't
About
we?
what time it was.
We always argue about the
Yeah.
kickstand, and sometimes on these last days, depending on how big a group we do, some guys leave earlier than others. But we all left together this day just because some guys want to, for whatever reason, get back really early. Me and if Lurch is ever with me, we're always like, it's my last day of vacation. I don't want to rush back. But we had other business we needed to get back for.
Oh, yeah.
Because Papa was still kicking the tires on some bikes, and we needed to get back into Kennewick, Washington to see if Popeye was actually going to
Yep.
just do it. And
So we went from Twin Falls, got in at about 11:30 or midnight, and we got up at we were kickstands up at 6:30 the next morning. So even on the turnaround, we're not talking showers or shit. I mean,
Right.
that's in at the
Nothing.
hotel 11:30
Yep.
midnight, and we were back up kickstands up 6:30 in the morning,
It was an early morning fun.
and bombed all the way back to Kennewick.
Yep.
You want to talk about lunch stop?
I want to talk about this real quick.
Go ahead.
Snake River Canyon, if you guys I talked about it last year on our trip because we're in Twin Falls. If you ever get to see it at sunrise or sunset, it's right outside Twin Falls. You cross the big bridge. There's lookouts and place for the public. I didn't get it this time only because I have footage from last year when we got up early. It's in our last year's documentary, our Midwest documentary. But if you're in Twin Falls, I just want to mention, make sure you see that at sunrise or sunset. But we had a short turnaround and I already had footage and I've already seen it. So 489 miles, 7 hours, 15 minutes saddle time. We needed a bomb back into Tri-Cities, Washington. Of course, ultimately for us, the Yakima, Washington area, ultimately for Popeye, the Wenatchee, Washington area. He has even more miles than 550 or even more than that to get back there. So we didn't have a lot of cool riding. We just needed a bomb, and the last days often like that. And it's
Yeah.
via I-84 all freeway
Yeah.
bomb. And so,
Oh, wait, but not all of it. Don't forget about Pendleton.
to tell them about it.
Oh, so we road construction everywhere. And Goat had mentioned just
This
how-
was right after our lunch stop, which,
Yep.
right? So
Just,
didn't we stop? Let's talk about this real quick. I
Yeah,
do want to
Baker
talk
City.
about that. Yeah, because otherwise we're going to digress. Baker City, Oregon, we got in. We were going to go to a brewery. We left so early. We were in too early. The brewery wasn't open because we lost time or
right.
we gained
We
time.
did, we lost an hour.
we gained an hour. It got earlier.
Gained an hour.
Yeah, we gained an hour.
Gain an hour. And so I looked up a place, Barley's Brown Brew Pub. If you're from Baker, it was Baker City, right?
It was Baker City, yeah.
No, it wasn't.
That's what we had planned. Barley's
that
Brown Brew
LeGrand?
Pub.
LeGrand.
LeGrand.
So we ended up in LeGrand. You're right. Instead of Baker City,
Oh, that's right.
We looked up another brewery in LeGrand, and it was closed.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Do you guys remember
City-
the name? Did I put it on my notes? Hang on. We decided to stop in LeGrand, Oregon instead. We found a place open at 10:30. So there was another brewery. Never mind, I digress. We were originally going to stop in Baker City, but we powered through. We got to LeGrand. There was another brewery there. We gained an hour. It was closed. So I looked up a place and found a place that was open at 10:30 called Long Branch Bar and Eats.
Oh, yeah.
And what a little dive.
Yes.
But awesome.
Awesome.
Great breakfast food.
Was a
Oh
great
my
breakfast.
God.
You gotta love a good breakfast
Especially
food
with-
dive bar.
You
Oh
do.
my
Yes.
God.
Man,
Especially with a Bloody Mary, which
Yeah.
me and you
Yeah.
had, and
We
they
did.
made a good Bloody Mary.
did.
God, it tasted good.
good Bloody Mary with dive bar breakfast.
You go to the back and you open up the cowboy doors,
Yep, old swinging doors.
All the lights go out.
and it's so dim.
It was
It's like
dark
looks
in
like a
there.
bad porn studio. You're just like, but the waitress was so nice, and
She
she's
was.
real well put together. And they have an old carved wood bar with varnish on it. It's like, it's what you expect for like the small town dive, but the food was awesome. The
Yes.
drinks were awesome. The hospitality was awesome. I have to give it to Long Branch. You're not going to find a lot other in LeGrand, Oregon. So there you go. And we had, great eats with a Bloody Mary. And for the last day, it was a great deal. So very dark. That's all I said. Sort of a dive.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Good Bloody Marys. Cash only if you go there. You know,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
good bar if they only accept cash.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
The card transaction fees are too much.
So talk about this, Oscar. This is what you were going to get to. So the road
So there's
construction.
road construction just east of Pendleton, and Goda talked about it, and it was backed up and it was warm. So we followed some.
Some Popeye found
yeah.
this. You
No,
told me to come
I was
up.
Googling it because I was curious how far
'Cause we're
it
backed
was
up
going
in
to take
traffic,
us to
stopped.
get to the dealership. And so on my Google, the Google machine tells me
The Googler.
the old Google machine tells me take a right and go down this old immigrant road is
Yeah.
the name of it. Like I say, we're at stop and go traffic on is that I-84?
I-84.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And we're up on it's up by what's the name of the? It's not.
It's not Cap. What is the name of that pass?
It's not actually Dead Man's Pass. I always call it that, but
it
it's
is
actually
Dead
called
Man's
it's
Pass,
called
isn't
something
it? Oh,
else.
is that okay?
It's actually got a different name,
I
but
saw
everybody
a
calls
sign
it
for
Dead Man's Pass. There is one, but the actual name of the pass on 84 is something different.
Okay.
That's a hair off of.
Oh.
Everybody calls it Dead Man Pass.
I didn't
though.
know that. Okay.
But so yeah, it told me to take this old immigrant road, and it was cool, windy
Cool
road,
road.
and it bypassed all the
Yeah.
18 wheelers. I mean, there's a couple 18 wheelers when you looked back on this road that were doing like 10 miles an hour down the hill.
Brutal.
we could look back to our west and see them. Yeah.
East.
Or
Back
east.
to the
Yeah.
Yeah, you
yeah.
could look back to the east after this thing had taken us around all of them. You could see these guys just snaking down the hill, slow as fuck. So it probably saved us a good 20, 30 minutes of taking this
Yep.
road. And it's kind of a cool road.
It was a cool road.
Switch back.
Yeah.
Remember that big super they
Yes.
had? The super G
Yes.
corner. It was like
It was a good
if we weren't
corner.
backed up in traffic,
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
get sketchy on that. It was so cool because you could just suck into that corner and feel it with that super G turn on there, like a racetrack basically.
Yeah.
The corners were clean. The gravel and the straights was a little sketchy.
There was a little
but the
sketchy at times.
Corners were clean.
It is on a reservation, so it's a little sketchy at times. Remember when we dropped down?
Yes, we
And
did.
You realize really quick. You're yeah.
It
You're
drops
like,
you
okay.
down to the casino right there at Pendleton is where
Yeah.
it drops you down to.
Right to Wild Horse.
Wild Horse. Yeah.
So, back on 84 after that. Rolled
Straight to-
into, all of us rolled into the dealership there at Kennewick, Washington. to
Rattlesnake?
Rattlesnake Harley Davidson.
Talk to
That's right.
JR.
JR,
JR.
taking care of us. I'd been BSing with him since Arizona at this point.
He doesn't like Oscar anymore, though.
No, we got along good. I like
Just
JR.
teasing. JR's a
I
good
like
people.
JR. He is.
And they had I knew they had a silver 2019 Street Glide sitting on the showroom floor. So as I pulled in, they're ready for me.
We're not sure still. I'm not sure.
No. You're
filming.
not sure. I was pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew about
Yeah,
what
but
it
you
was
didn't
gonna,
let it off to me.
No, I knew about what it was going to be, about what I was going to have to pay for it because what they were going to give me for my trade-in. And pretty much when I pulled in, we're peeling parts off of my bike, the one that I just rolled in from a 3,200 mile trip, or 3,000, I guess at that point, I had another 150 miles to go. But they're peeling the biker gripper because that biker gripper I just put on there. So
Cell
we take
phone
that
mount,
off,
yep.
the cell phone mount.
I asked too. I'm like, they're taking shit off his bike. Is this a sold deal? Nope. I'm like, but they're moving shit.
Yeah, you even
they're
asked
moving
me that.
shit from that bike to that bike, and I don't know what's going
You
on.
even asked me, or somebody asked me, to go, have you guys fucking even talked numbers
did.
yet? No, not really. No. Have you written it? No.
Clearly, we are.
Yeah.
Going to talk numbers. Yes.
So they're moving some shit over. I took my seat off at one, once I knew it was going to happen, took the seat off. I moved my seat over to the bike. And so anyway, long story short, I ended up with a 2019 Street Glide Special, silver in color. Of course, it's blacked out.
Yeah.
Beautiful bike with a 114 in it, and it goes like a sumbitch.
Yeah.
And the cornering of it and stuff is amazing. I still haven't hit 1,000 miles. I got home from this trip.
Coming from your
2012. I had a
right.
2012.
Just want to make sure the audience knew.
And
That's a big upgrade.
So I had a 2012 with about 60,000 miles on it. And then so traded it in, and the difference is night and day. You guys have all heard, you've been around a long time, have heard me talk about, I've got a 2002 Heritage Springer in the garage, and I always tell people the difference from my 2002 Springer to the 2012 Street Glide is like the difference from my 2012 Street Glide to the 2019 Street Glide. It's that big of a difference. It is freaking amazing. I still haven't hit 1,000 miles on it when I got home from this trip, because we're only a few weeks after this trip right now.
Right.
When I got home, I was on vacation for about another week and a half. I was out of the area, so I couldn't ride. So I'm just getting ready to hit 1,000 miles. But
Nice.
it's awesome. I love it. It's incredible.
Yeah, remember the funny thing is too, the dealership was when you told them how many miles you had in your 2012, they're like, we're not used to guys having, you know what I mean? They're used to guys trading in 2012 with like 10, 15,000 miles. You're like, no, it's got what, 60 something?
Yeah.
60. Yeah, I was at 60. And Sturgis
even Jared
Jeff
was like, most people don't trade in bikes for 60,000 miles for a 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, even and that's what we all kind of laughed about is that we kill our reseller around here because we ride so much.
We really do.
We do kill our resale, dude.
And so
That's what it's about, though.
Well, Sturgis Jeff got a new one here about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and he said, when he walked in and they asked him how many miles he had on his bike, and he's like, 62,000, and they just went, holy shit!
They're just garage bikers,
and that's what they said. They go, well, it's nice to see somebody who actually rides their bike, roll in here, and a lot of the people in the community also, the law-abiding community, a lot of these guys put some miles on too. Which
in this community, hell yeah. Just you think about the massive overwhelming amount of people that are have Hardys out there that we all know, and you all know those people that garage. Yeah, they park them in the garage and just don't put a lot of miles on them. So, what a great day! It took a long time to do that deal, and we actually left for a while. Oscar had to bug out. We'll talk about this in a minute, but we went up to lunch to a local place with Goat and Big Daddy. I stayed. I wanted to, obviously I'm filming. I wanted to stay till the very end to see if he rolled out with this thing. It will be in the documentary, so don't give it away. All right. A lot of people, all right, and they're still in the chat.
Charles Wilburn said he's only got 160,000 miles
awesome.
on his 2012 Road King.
Has he had a rebuild at some point?
No, that's what he was just
That's
talking about.
crazy.
He said the dealer won't want it. Charles, you're right. I would just keep it, put it in your front yard, put some plants on it.
There you go.
Because you take the cake for high mileage bike, bud.
Yep. Without having a rebuild or a top end rebuild or anything. That's crazy, huh? Good. Oscar, did you get the bike they're asking?
Oh, no.
Why?
Well,
it just didn't work out the numbers, basically. Tell what you want.
And dipshit. I mean, Lee over here and he was in my ear chipping the whole time. Wait for the 114. Wait for the 114.
I told you that's not that.
Well, I know. I know. So in the end, I wasn't going to get quite as much.
He'd
for
be
my
mad
bike.
when I'm out running him on the 114.
I know.
He's got his 107, or he'd be pissed.
Yeah, like over 5 miles, he'll be like 3 feet ahead of you. It's not that big, trust me.
Well, honestly, now next year so I did get to ride a really nice road glide in Rattlesnake, and that kind of changed my mind about wanting an Ultra. And next year's the Road Glide Ultra Limited is coming out. Oh, probably this fall. So I'm thinking maybe I'll wait for the Road Glide Ultra Limited. It'll have a 114. It'll have everything that my bike does with the Road Glide front end. And one of the things I noticed is that Road Glide front end is just like my BMW. And ironically enough, the smaller fairing of the BMW, I don't get hardly any wind behind it versus my Ultra Limited. So I think I'm going to wait for the Road Glide.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the way to go. And then the 114, it'll be the second year and it'll be tried. And I think it'll be good.
Whatever.
The last part, Oscar said, I think it'll be good, but he
I
stepped away from his mic.
I'm trying to type and shit.
You can move your mic in position. So
Oh, damn it. That's right.
Jesus Christ.
I got all excited.
He's like
there.
this. He's like,
I can't reach my
just
arms.
move your mic.
Shut
I
up.
typed the whole
You know
T-Rex
what?
arms.
Damn you people. I hate you guys.
So overall, as we wind it down here, we appreciate the patron members being in here. We love chatting with you. We just had a wonderful time. I will tell you, out of this trip, weather-wise, always, like we say, pack for everything, because we had all the way from 45 to 103. We had rain. But overall, we had great riding weather. And what I mean by that is we've been on some trips like last year, our Midwest trip, where it was hot day after day. We really, except for the 1 or 2 days, didn't have extremely hot weather. I couldn't believe how comfortable when I'm riding in a jacket a lot of the time. I would rather just be one layer like that and ride rather than 110. You know, it was just very comfortable riding. It was a great trip. We split the days up well as far as mileage. We were talking about that pre-show, that it really turned out well. With that said, we'll wind it down here. Is there any last thoughts on the trip, guys, besides what I just said? 3,000 miles for us, a little bit more for you.
Great ride. It's a central location for a lot of people out there. One of my favorite places to get to is Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
Beautiful there. It's a fun place.
Yep. Absolutely.
Great ride, good people, good memories. It's great to get out on the road on a motorcycle, go see these places. The wife hates it because I have young kids, and so she doesn't get to go along on rides and whatnot. And I'm always saying, well, I'm figuring it out for, retirement, when you can ride with me more. But, it's this great way to see these great United States of America is behind bars.
Yes.
And it's just awesome to go visit these places on a motorcycle.
I've seen more places because of my motorcycle than I ever would have saw in my life had we not had a motorcycle. And that's really what the lifestyle's about. Yep. So let me tell you this, and then we'll bust out, because Popeye's got to get back up north. I'm not officially announcing. I'm just saying it's probably mostly official, but we will.
Probably maybe kind of.
Probably maybe kind of.
Probably pretty sure.
Totally non-committal.
It's likely.
Might happen.
We kind of nailed it down.
But we might not.
I think that this year, this coming, because we always announce it, I'll confirm it as we come into the fall, coming into the fall of 2019. Next year's trip, we think, is going to be in Sturgis.
Sure. Maybe.
We pretty much confirmed it.
But we haven't decided yet.
99.999% chance. We went to Sturgis, the 75th?
There's a chance we might not, though.
Right?
In 15.
In 15?
Yeah.
Okay, and so this will be the 80th, right?
Yes.
Yes, it'll be the 80th. Now, with that said, we made there's going to be some different things the way we do it. And again, coming into fall, we'll confirm some of this 100%. But we're not going to have an actual ride. And the reason is, we talked about it, me and Popeye and Oscar. It's too dangerous to have that many people and ride around Sturgis, and it's too busy, and we'll get backed up. There's no way you can keep a group together. But nonetheless, we really want to organize some sort of get together.
And on that's because it's Sturgis. It's not saying that the amount of people is because Sturgis with that many bikes. If we were somewhere else, we would have a big group and we'd be fine with that. It's not that it's dangerous to have that many bikes. We can't keep people together at Sturgis when there's frickin' hundreds of thousands of other bikes. If you've ever ridden around Sturgis, there's fucking bikes everywhere, and we will get separated, and we will not be able to stay together.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of
stupid
shit, and a lot of guys that don't ride, that can't ride, that are on bikes. Yeah, good call. A meetup, no ride.
So hopefully we'll be able to find a place in Sturgis. We'll probably be staying. Speaking of Oscar, you need to get on that and find out if that place is available.
We had a song request.
City.
Yeah.
From Jackson here.
Oceanfront property in Arizona.
Oh my God.
From my front porch you can see the sea. I got
ridiculous.
Some oceanfront property in Arizona.
If you buy that,
there you go, buddy.
I'll throw the Golden Gate in for free.
Nicely done. Nicely done, boys. So Oscar, you need to get on that and ask our contact if we can get that same place. Sooner the better. We'll be planning. Again, it may or may not happen. We're going to try to make it happen. If you know of somewhere in or around, we don't want to be in Sturgis. If you're from that area and you know of a place around or outside Rapid City, a park that we can rent during Sturgis, a place, something, reach out to us. We're in the early stages of our 2020 meetup. Again, that's kind of what it's looking like. But again, no ride. But we would love to have a facility where we can at least get together, shake your hand, drink some beers, have some eats, and then we can go all go on our separate ways. Again, like Popeye said, just because in and around Sturgis just be a little bit too dangerous to try to put a group ride. But that
we got to find somebody who's from there though too. I mean, if we got somebody who's back from there, I mean, maybe from out of Rapid City or something, we can head the opposite direction
if they know something.
If they know it, but yeah, with as many bikes around Sturgis, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of learned that the last time, and we had a small group.
Yep.
The last time, there's just no way.
Yep. And our Sworn Few, another reason is they're coming over from Tennessee, and it's cool for them. They want to meet us up in Sturgis too, so we're going to have multi-purposes for the 2020 trip, of course. Anyways, again, that's 99%.
There's a chance we won't.
There's always a small chance we won't. So anyways, look into the fall on that. And, we love our patron members, but before we go out here, we certainly never balk at a flat donation. Why don't you thank these people, Popeye?
We already had Charles Agard on there.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Is this the same? Did I do the same donations?
You might
Let's
have.
look up.
Might have. Stand by, folks. We'll be thinking here in just a second. We're the wrong ones.
Oh, yeah. See, I was on trip one.
I don't know.
Oh,
A total
yeah,
mess.
on trip one.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
On a high
Don't
tech
worry
right
about
neck
it.
my
Yeah,
ass.
look at there. Go.
All right, here we go. David Pritchard of Chipley, Florida. Eric Saltman of Madison. Oh, shit. I think that's Alabama is AL.
Yep.
A substantial donation, and we sure appreciate that. Jamie Petrie of Kenmore, New York.
There you go. lawabidingbiker.com/donate is how those folks left a flat donation. Of course, we'd love to have you as a patron and all that kind of stuff. But if the only way you can support us, flat donation, we certainly understand that. Helps put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank so we can keep this thing heading on down the road. We really appreciate all you patrons that stayed in the chat, that hung on a Saturday for that many hours. We actually kept it very real.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half an episode. So
Nice.
for a 2-part episode on a trip, that's probably the best we've done. So we kept it real. Thanks for being involved in the chat. Thanks for all you patrons that actually met us up down there. We look forward to 2020 into the future, your continued support, all that kind of stuff. With that said, let's take it right out of here, boys.
We're out.
Whew.
That was a good episode. Couple of good episodes
Couple good episodes, buddy. Thanks for coming down.
You betcha. I'm
Really.
hungry now. We're going to have to get some dinner.
I'm going to take Popeye to dinner, buy him dinner for coming down here.
Doesn't mean I'm putting out, though.
Yeah, you're taking my spot in the spoon place there.
if
or
I
whatever,
pay
right?
enough, what if I pay enough, dude? Everything's got a price on it.
If I drink enough.
You pay enough and you drink enough. Wow. I think there's a movie about that shit.
Oh, yeah. It's happened before.
Everything's for sale.
Seen a movie that started that way.
So all of us here at Law Abiding Biker Media rode this 3,000-mile trip, of course, with our Biker Gripper cell phone GPS motorcycle mounting solutions, and they held up well. We've ridden for like 6+ years with them now. It is the Biker Gripper, sexiest, sleekest, strongest cell phone and GPS motorcycle mount on the market. Use it to mount your cell phone, GPS devices, radar detectors, EFI tuners, toll transponders, so much more. Tried and tested, as you just heard, right here by the Law Abiding Biker crew. I run it on my police bike daily. Our whole fleet of police bikes does. Believe in it so much, we stamped our own Law Abiding Biker logo on it. Available exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store. Choose from several different models. Our perch mounts, black or chrome, our universal bar mounts, black or chrome. lawabidingbiker.com/store is how you can find the Biker Gripper. And I just put out a new video on that, in fact. Just released it a week or 2 ago with our we've changed the production processes, machining just a little bit to bring the prices down over time. It's got all the updated information. Of course, that video is embedded right on the product listing page on our store. There we go, guys. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks, both of you guys, for hanging.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. We're taking it out of here. Go get some dinner.
Peace.
Enjoy your Saturday, all you live
Later, Bikerholics.
listeners. Yeah, Michael White says 2 hours and 15 minutes. Awesome effort, guys. Yeah, that's about right. That's actually good. Chris Lezak, 25,000 plus miles on my Biker Gripper. Nice, Chris. All right. Thanks, live audience. Quite a marathon. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you in the chat. I hope you're all well. Hope you're getting some riding in. Ride safe. Thank you for being part of the community, and it makes it worth doing these live episodes back to back to have you guys here and involved and know that you appreciate it. So get out there. Hopefully you have some time left wherever you are, some daylight to get a ride in. All right. Peace.